Welcome to Leadership Sovereignty. I'm your host, Terry Baylor, along with Ralph Owens. Today, we'll discuss identifying your gift and how it's tied to your destiny. We'll explain the meaning behind 10,000 hours and how surrounding yourself with like-minded persons is key to your destiny and how coaching compounds your growth. Enjoy the show.
So let's transition into the next point. Developing your seed. So now you've identified what your purpose and your destiny is, so what it's tied to. And now we're going to talk about the importance of developing that seed and that gift. I mean, what comes to mind for you, Terry, when you hear that, developing your seed?
Man, look, anybody who follows me on social media and I post stuff about my family, two things are hashtag. Baylor Legacy, 10,000 hours. And the third one is flow mindset. What does that mean, right? Let me explain what that means. Basically, I'm standing on the shoulders of others, right? That's that Baylor Legacy hashtag. And I don't want to forget what those before me have given me, right? There's so much treasure in the name, for one. So much treasure in the information, right? So much treasure in the example, right? So what I'm developing, it's not from scratch.
Right. That's right.
Right. It's not, look, I'm standing on the shoulders of some giants, right? Then let's transition to that a little bit, right? Ralph, you were probably one of the biggest you and my wife, huge influencers in the power of books, right? That's still a part of that shoulder, standing on the, on those giants. The other aspect of that is the 10,000 hours. There is nothing that takes the place, and I'm going to say this in sports terms, we call them reps. You got to get the reps in. You have to get the rep. You can have all the knowledge about something. But here's what the reps do. The reps establish, I'd probably say maybe 3 core things that reps do for you. First of all, they build the muscle memory, right? Now that muscle memory is physical, it's mental, emotional. You got to get the reps. The other thing, I'll probably say number 2, the reps build is your confidence. I heard Kobe say, look, man, when it comes to shooting that game-winning shot, I don't even think about the shot. You know why? I've made that bucket 10,000 times. He's put in so many reps. So I'm not concerned about the act of completing the shot. Right? And then I'd say the third thing that reps give you, it gives you the history. Right? You mentally have the history and the development of what that experience is. You see what I'm saying? You can place yourself in that moment before the moment happens. I can visualize, look, I done did that. That power. So at that point, it relieves all the pressure of the execution aspect of it. There's no pressure in the execution. I've done it too many times. I got 10,000 reps.
That's right.
So Ralph, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that was the first thing that was at the top of my list. 10,000 hours. Right. I believe the author's name is Malcolm Gladwell, who came up with the it takes 10,000 hours to perfect anything. right? And it simply goes back to what you said, Terry. That means putting in the reps, putting in the work. Natural
Got to.
gifting alone is not going to get you to your destiny. It'll help you understand the direction that you're supposed to go in, but there's work that has to take place, and that development takes time. Something else that you touched on, Terry, that I had was you must surround yourself with other people who have the same gift and who are going in the same direction. Because what this will do is this will give you energy and put fuel on the fire of your passion. Right? When you find other people who are trying to develop their gift and they have the same gift that you do, you start creating a synergy off of each other. I bounce this idea off you, you bounce this idea off me. Next thing you know, our talent and our skill level and our experience is going up. And then, you need mentors and coaches, right? To help you develop, right? Once you know what area that you're in. I think a great example of that, Terry, is Marcus, right? He had a natural gift and then eventually, went to school, had mentors and coaches, and then he went out to do some phenomenal stuff.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna step back on one aspect of what you're talking, and I'm gonna tie Marcus into this. Um, so you said find people who have the same passion as you. Here is how I do it. I tell my son, when you go to practice, you find the best person out there.
That's it.
And you go get him. And then you know what
That's
you tell him? I'm rubbing on you. Hey, I'm every day we doing this.
That's right.
But here's what you tell him. You say, look, I'm driving you because I need you to drive me. Because you know what? We need to do this to help each other get better. Right?
Yes,
the Bible says iron sharpens iron.
Yes, sir.
Look, we not, I tell them all the time, look, don't be negotiating easy outs.
That's right. No.
Now we're not, look. And so again, Ralph, I love this. So to your point, I can't look at any situation differently now. That means every day in practice, you're the challenger and I'm the challenger.
That's
every day. That's what we doing.
Yeah, that's right. And Terry, you and I have done that to each other.
Oh my gosh.
Right? In technology for years.
Yeah. I'll be like, Ralph, I don't know about that T. No, it's going to work. I don't know, man. All right, let's do it this way. All right, let's put it in test and see.
That's right. That's right. Pushed each other. There were times in technology where I may have wanted to take the easy route, but I'm like, nah, T gonna hold me on this one. I gotta dig deeper.
You're right. But it's the same way, man. It is the same way. And just to tie this into Marcus's story, Marcus, and he tells me this story. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me sharing this, but he said he remembered coming home this first summer, after going away to school. And he said, man, I came back and man, some of the guys he was like, man, they were light years ahead of me. I realized I wasted my summer. Right?
Yeah.
But after that experience, you see what I'm saying? That challenge came, right? And those guys, and I'm, Marcus went to school with some of the greatest, they were his peers. These guys who you listening to now, these guys are playing at his senior recital. And so he says, but again, and you know how music is, right? Guys not go partner with you if you ain't coming with it because they don't want their brand to be marked, right? Yeah, in a negative way. And so, man, again, I'm not going to drop any names, but these guys who you listening to on the radio today, Marcus called him, oh man, that's my dude. Man, we've been, blah, blah, blah. So being in those circles pull out of you sometimes deeper and more than you really realize that's in you.
That's good. That is good. That is so good. Yes, absolutely. The environment, right? The environment you chose to put yourself in. Yes. And those, and just to, if we stick with Marcus's example, the mentors and coaches. So the instructors, the people that he got around.
Oh my gosh. Legends. He He was studying with legends, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And how much time does that save a person? Right? When you
Don't even talk about, you know what I've been chewing on here lately.
Oh
I
yeah.
heard a guy, Ralph, we heard a guy say this, right? Because you sent it to me to listen to.
Mhm.
He said, look, you can spend an evening with a coach that will save you 3 years because of what you just don't know. I'm like,
That's right.
and
That's
I've
right.
experienced it personally.
Me too.
I'm in a 6-week block right now in like week 4.
Mhm.
These 3 weeks have saved me years. When
Mhm.
the person said it, Terry, if you do this, it'll save you years on what you're trying to develop. I'm like, okay, let me
Mhm.
going through that exercise.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not spinning my wheels on stuff that, okay, I can do that, but
That's right.
it's not gonna get me to the end goal.
That's right. That's right. So what do we identify? That you have to identify your purpose, the thing that you're great at, or
Yep,
that you naturally have a good passion for or gifting
yep,
for.
yep,
And then you have to commit to developing that seed.
yep.
Parents, when you find what that is in your child, you start developing that seed at a young age, right? Because when you put 10,000 hours, which I believe is 7 years, I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I think I've
But
heard that. Yeah.
when you put 10,000 hours on and you start them at a young person, they achieve mastery in like their 20s,
Mm.
right? Whereas, most of us don't really pick up on what it is we gifted in until we're in our 20s and 30s. And then, we may be looking at 40s, 50s before we achieve mastery. So dig in and discover, what that natural born gifting is and help them develop that. And then again, put them in a situation, we should put ourselves in situations around people who are headed in the same direction with the same gift. Right? It's just the synergy is just gonna be incredible. And then on top of that, you put coaches and mentors, phew,
It's a
you gone,
it's a game
right?
changer. And so
It's a game
here's the
changer.
thing, right? By doing that, but even by default, you start to cut off the chafe or cut off the excess or begin to block those distractors, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
I know, when you first maybe think about this topic in and of itself, it's a scenario where you're thinking, well, yeah, let me stop doing something, right? Because it's
mhm,
keeping me from. But if
mhm,
you build it in a certain way from the
mhm,
beginning in the
mhm.
development, the very nature of your pursuit will minimize the distractions.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you for being with us today on Leadership Sovereignty. Stay connected with us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and on Instagram by searching for Leadership Sovereignty. And just like this podcast, let's all collectively grow as we go. God bless.